Welcome back, everybody. This is M-Dog, and after a few days away, I'm back home, and thought we would try out this spot at Bear. If you've been paying attention to the VK site over on the Russian side of things, you may have already seen this spot. I've only seen it theoretically. This is the first time I've actually tried it myself. But I thought we would see what it is like for us. Real quick, let me say the coordinates here. 5427 as you see, and we are kind of down here at, looks like F8. Trying to cast basically west using these little Boonison rods. And we're out at a 20-meter clip. Looks like we might have another one on there. So really, based on what I can tell here, what this spot is about is the opportunity to get your white Bream trophy here at Bear. If you're trying to do that for your trophy card. And it appears as though out of the 4 fish I've caught so far, 2 of them, now 3 of them, have been white Bream. It'll be interesting to see if we get very many that are bait fish size. That could be another benefit of this, if that does work out. So if you haven't been around very long, you may not realize this, but white Bream actually used to be a very plentiful fish to attempt to catch using feeder rods. Well, some time ago, okay, so we need to be looking for 50 to 100 gram, which really, if the white Bream are fairly active in this spot, you know, if we go to a smaller hook size, we might have, if you're really trying to get bait fish. But some time ago, they've changed the way that white Bream work in the game, as best I can remember from the patch notes, and I didn't take the time to go back and read about it, but I think the overall change that you see in white Bream these days versus in the past, certainly when I first started playing the game, is that they're just not as common to come in on bottom or feeder rods. And if you want to catch trophy white Bream, in many spots at least, you have a better chance going for the big white Bream with float setups now. And in fact, I think I probably have it under my old Berg card. Yes, so pea porridge and red worm sandwich bait. At some point I caught this trophy on float. It's just more common now, I think, to see the larger white Bream or a better percentage of white Bream coming in on float. But every once in a while still we'll see these bottom opportunities pop up, and especially one here at Bear. A lot of people I know, since that change was made and now qualifications have come out and trophy cards were reset and all that, you may not have your trophy card white Bream here at Bear. So if that is the case, this may be a decent opportunity to get that, at least from what I'm hearing or reading from other people's experience. So that is the goal or the hope here. Let's talk about what we're using. We're using size 12 hooks. Like I said, I'm using my Boonisons, but we do have them set up in a carp rig with classic hair rig. 11.3 in terms of the lead core size. 9.2 is the carp leader size that I'm using. 12 hooks. And the baits we're using are Bloodworm 10, Bloodworm 12, both 2 types of sinking boilies, with Amino X dip. And that is just straight off of what I've seen other folks posting about what they're using. Here's another one. Whenever you see the pancake size come in, you know you've got a decent size white on. So yeah, that definitely looks promising. And again, we're just kind of casting west. We've got these little 30 gram sinkers on, so we have to cast it pretty hard to get it 20 meters for the clip. The other thing you're going to want to do is pay really careful attention to your feeders. If you have the option, put the smallest quiver tip on as possible. Sometimes white breams are cautiously biting fish and don't necessarily run with it. So you're not going to always see a ton of evidence. But I'm impressed so far. We have had the one barbel. Besides that, 100% white bream. At bear, you're occasionally going to hit a carp. And I'm sure we're going to occasionally hit something here that's going to give this size equipment a run for its money. And it might be quite annoying. Another nice one, though. 587 grams. Really good size white bream, especially for feeder rod fishing. Now, this isn't a farm spot. I mean, you're not talking about a ton of silver. I wouldn't expect. This is really about if you're just in the mood to try to catch white bream or trying to knock that trophy card off of your bear card. So that's what we're doing here. It's 16:45 in the afternoon. And so we're hopefully going to come up on some, afternoon, evening, decent bite rate here. Maybe we'll see some decent sized white bream like we have so far. I won't keep the video going overnight. It should be maybe a little slower overnight. And I will tell you that if you're really trying to sit on a trophy, at least in my experience recently with float fishing, it seems like the white bream trophies are going to be most likely 5 to 8:30 a.m. Sort of that first thing in the morning after the sun's come up and the fish are kind of waking up. So we will see how the rest of the evening goes. But like I said, if you're trying to sit on a trophy, it probably is going to be worth trying to have your lines in that first thing in the morning. And the only reason why I'm not going to sit here, I don't think I'm going to sit here that long in terms of the video, is because my time is just limited. I'm going to have to start doing work stuff here pretty soon. So I thought I would just go ahead and show the spot, hopefully catch a few white bream while we're recording, and then you can take it from there if you really want to go for it here. This is the PVA I'm using, and again, I just pulled this as off of VK. One of the folks who had caught a trophy white bream here were using this PVA. It looks solid to me. You've got the bloodworm and maggots to complement the baits, the boilies you're using. Biscuit seems to be complementary of just about anything. Phenyl attractant, I'm not sure about that. Sounds fine. I mean, whatever. It seems to be working, so didn't feel like I needed to change it. You could go with, I think there's a bloodworm attractant, right? Or some kind of worm attractant. There's another nice one. But it's one of those things, like I said, just got back into town. And really haven't had a chance to do any experimenting. And to me, this looked pretty interesting. So I just thought I would just kind of duplicate what's been done and just try it myself. So here's an attractant that's got bloodworm extractant. I mean, surely that would work as well. You would just think. But for whatever reason, that's not what folks are using, at least based on what they're reporting on VK. And this is amazing. I mean, one thing I will say, to have this high a percentage of white bream being caught right now is pretty phenomenal. I mean, talking about targeting a fish, and we got sort of a random barbel there. I think if you do it long enough, you are going to see some carp. I mean, you've got boilies in the water and it's bare. You just couldn't help but occasionally see a carp. Overnight, we probably will catch a stray bream here or there, I would think. These are boilie flavors that sometimes have been used to catch bream in the past, so I would think there still would be some bycatch. Maybe gibbles or crucians would even be possible too. I mean, I would think so. But at least during the daytime, mornings, afternoon, evening, it looks like you've got a pretty good chance of targeting in on those white bream. All right, that looks a little different. Yeah, there's a crucian. So they're not completely opposed to this bait setup. And I have been very out of the loop last few days. I'm not really sure where the hotspots even are right now. I mean, I've looked at VK a couple times just to kind of see what people were up to. I haven't had a chance to check Discord yet. It looks like Amber is kind of like it was before I left town. Some of the same spots, but I've got a little bit of catching up to do and a little bit of experimenting just to see where is good spots to spend time at the moment. So once again, a nice white bream. $20-meter clip, 54.27. Trying to figure out if there's a fish on that middle rod. I don't think there is. I believe that many, many moons ago, down here under this this tree, this may have been maybe a golden tench spot or something. I know I've fished down here before. Just trying to see what the name of the area is called. Is the area really that big? Duck's Thicket. Let's see if it's still considered Duck's Thicket up here. I have a hard time believing I'm the only one fishing in this spot right now, so it must be called something else. Let's see what this area is called. This is Duck's Thicket, and I am the only one. Very weird. Maybe this spot isn't as known, or, I mean, to be fair, it's not really a silver farming spot. Certainly not an XP spot. There's a bream. I think we'll see bream occasionally, especially as it gets to the evening. Regular bream, which is, of course, it may be pretty small bream that we see. You know, we're not using tiny stuff, which I'm thankful for. Again, I think you're going to occasionally hit a carp, a common or mirror or something, so you probably don't want to come in here with the tiniest of stuff. But if the percentage of common or mirror carp really is that low, you might be able to go a little smaller and see if that increases your bite rate or quality of catching. But I must say, for a white bream spot, especially using feeder rods, so far, I think that's another one. Yeah, it's a big boy too. 759 is getting up there. So far, it is not something you would complain about. It seems very good, both in terms of bite rate and quality. That's going to be the largest one we've had yet. But 6 that have that sort of transition to the flatter, nicer look, which sort of shows you're on a decent size. A couple of nibbles going on here. Of course, if that's a white bream, it's going to be a nice one. I doubt that's a white bream, though. That is going to be... Wow. Look at that. A big gibble. So we have seen one gibble and one crucian now. One barbel. One bream. The rest, white bream. Could change a little bit. Time of day could that could vary that some more. I think that's another gibble, isn't it? That's got to be a time of day thing where all of a sudden we see two gibbles in a row like that. But yes, I think it'll be worth, even if I do it off video, I think it's going to be worth me sitting here through one morning just to see if we can get a little bit of good RNG on our side and hit that trophy white bream at bear. That is not a white bream. Not quite marker size. Oh, it is. Okay. So there's a marker bream. Better than a non-marker bream, I suppose. So I've been keeping all the white bream, although some of these are not markers and too big still for bait fish. With current setup, I don't think we're going to get many that are actually bait fish size. Which white bream used to be one of the bait fish that you tended to just have tons of before the changes. It's a very active spot, though. We immediately are seeing nibbles on all three rods. I'd say if anything, the fish is already on that third rod. Yeah. Our first common roach. Small fry. Looks like a bream. Is that a barbel again? Or is it a small carp? Yeah, it's a little leather. Okay. So that's a little scarier, obviously. Thankfully it was small. Quick bite. Not nibbling at all in that case. Ooh. I'd say this is a carp. Yeah. That's a it's a real deal carp there. Is that another leather? So the leathers are down here. So just remember that. Sort of file that away when you're thinking about how large you want your lead core and leader to be. After seeing that, I am I am glad that we went with the size that we did. And I suppose it is possible that we could even regret having this small. Well, for a while there we were just like on the white bream. Now I feel like we are catching a wider range of species. It's another roach, decent sized one. Maybe what we'll do is start spreading the cast out a little bit instead of going exactly west with all three of them. Kind of go in this whole area maybe. Wanted to at least see what the... We're almost at overnight. Kind of see what that does. Too far right here, though, you're kind of inching into that 3.5 meter hole, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. Another roach maybe, or some kind of carp. Got a little longer nibble going. Which looks funny when you've got that really light quiver tip on. Very long. Oh, so the Gelid pool starts right here. I don't know if there's really anyone fishing here either. Yeah, there's 3 here. But that spot probably includes one of the normal carp spots, so that's why there might be players there. I'm curious what this is going to be. This is the one that just nibbled for a long time. I think we were right. Yep, we called it. It was, in fact, a roach. Alright, so we push that out a little bit more right. That actually might be in the hole, to be honest. Let's see if that angle is different. Not quite. So maybe 20 meters doesn't quite hit the hole, is my guess. From here. Oh, it's like illusion. I couldn't tell which line was moving there. Both of them, I think, and they were kind of moving together. It was a little weird. Oh, there's another white. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I was kind of wondering. Like, are we going to still catch these at all in the evening? Or will it be pretty varied in terms of species until we get to morning again? There's another one. Very nice. So we're seeing them again here. Alright, let's see what the next fish or two is, and then we'll wrap it up. Again, not a silver farm, even for, you know, even for lower level players, it isn't going to be the best silver farm. Might be okay according to kind of what your gear is like and what you're able to really go after, but it's more of just a fun spot if you want to be able to target. Why did happy hour just get reactivated? Okay, that's weird. So I was in a happy hour because I hadn't played for the last couple days, and then it's now time for it to reset, so I guess it just reset. Kind of weird. Okay. It hasn't done that to me before. although I'm not sure that I've actually had these exact circumstances before either. All right, so there was another one. I mean, it's well past midnight at this point. We just got another one. So, yeah, maybe they will be off and on through the night. I think they might eventually sort of stop. I think the spot could get pretty slow overnight to a degree, but I think it will kick in and be really nice again first thing in the morning. All right, another roach. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap it up, but let me show you one more time everything we're doing here. So that's where we're fishing at, and F8. We're at clip 20 on all three rods. The coordinates are 54, 27. Same setup on all three rods. Classic hair rig on our Boonisons with 9.2 carp leaders. Size 12 hooks, Bloodworm 10, Intense Bloodworm 12, which is 2 sinking boilies together on our classic hair rig. We're using Amino X dip with this PVA. Ground peas, bloodworm, bloodworm feed pellets 3, maggots, biscuit, and fennel. So that's the setup we're using, and really in just a short time, it's evident that the white bream are here and responding well to this approach. So pretty cool. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you have some good luck if you do come try it. I think that trophies appear to be possible here based on what I'm seeing other people report at least. Is that going to be another one? Nope, regular bream. And especially here at Bear, I haven't seen a white bream trophy spot in quite a while. So, all right. Tight lines, everybody. See you next time.